What up? What up? Where you at? Where you at? Man, booyah, we are live. How's everybody going? How's everybody doing? Notification gang in the building, homeboy. Let's get this one in, man. Get some of you guys more in here. Get some more of you guys in here, I should say. Saludos para mi raza. What's good, people? How we doing out there? Let's see if we can get some of these. Oh, that came in a little bit late, but hey, better late than never, right? Let's see if I can make this one. There we go. There we go. So let's go. Respect, respect, respect. Where my boo-boo at? I don't know. Boo-boo's somewhere around. Him and his beard are running the YouTube yarda somewhere. That's what boo-boo does. He runs the YouTube yarda, homeboy. There we go. All right, well, let's get some of these comments off there for a little bit. See how many of you guys are actually in the building. Actually, I got a count right here. Come on, oh boy. There you go. There's my viewer count. You guys are coming in. Hopefully the rain didn't mess up too many of your plans. It's kind of crazy out here. I was out here on Rain Watch, man. Rain Watch 2023, carnal. This shit was no joke. Okay, lock that bad boy. Lock that bad boy. There we go. Move that bad boy somewhere. Where we gonna be at? Move it like over here somewhere. I don't know, Holmes. I don't know. I just want to see where it's at. All right, there we go. I can live with that. Good evening, G. Dope ass background and setup, homie. I appreciate it, man. I'm still just trying to figure this thing out. You know, the Circus Liquor. That's where I'm at. I don't know, maybe a mile and a half from there. Hello from the app. Finally caught you live. There you go, homie. You gotta hit that that notification bell, carnal. Join the notification gang, carnal. The roughest, toughest gang in the whole YouTube yarda, homeboy. El Mandilon's in the building. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about, you know, what we signed up for, homeboy. What you signed up for. Cause I hear that all the time, man. I hear all the time people, you know, this is what you signed up for, you know, when you join a gang, you know, anything happens, that's what you signed up for. And I want to say that the majority of the people doing or saying that are going to be people that are either fairly young or haven't, maybe weren't in the gang as deep as they believe they were. Let me make sure I'm connected. Fool, ain't you connected? You know we are, homeboy. Because after, we're going to take a couple of llamadas in the yarda, nothing major. Okay, there we go. Talk that shit, Gil. You know what it is, homeboy. That's what they don't like, carnal. They don't like that I'm shattering some of their misconceptions of a hood and how the gang works and the whole thing, right? So let's just start jumping right into this real quick, man. Then after that, I'm gonna take some phone calls from people, right? So after, you know, I did that Crook one video, I was inspired by. Just to make sure nobody calls. Somebody like Roger start calling real quick. So after that Crook one video and his homie getting killed over there, murdered over in a 6th Street bridge, you know, you get the people always, and you always get these. I don't know if they're all internet gangsters, but a lot of them are. I'm sure not all of them are internet gangsters. Some must be, you know, guys out there. But if you're really out there, you're not sitting here, you know, watching Gil American Cholo talking shit all the time. You out there getting it. But I always hear, you know, you signed up for that life. That's what you signed up for, homie. We already knew what it was, and everything that comes with that. Give me 1 second. Let me do this in studio mode here. Let me see if I can get this in my thing right here. So you always sign up for quote unquote the life, and when for some of you guys that don't know, most of you guys will. I joined my hood out here in North Hollywood in 1989. I did my thing for a good 10 years straight. So I banged through the whole 90s and got, 6 years in YA. It was all gang banging. It wasn't selling dope. It wasn't robbing old ladies. It wasn't carjacking. It was out here gang banging in the streets. And then for a short period of time, I did become that one MF in the hood. I was that guy in the hood, one of the top dogs in the hood that the little homies would look up to, and that knew that, that I was about that business, homie. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You'll have people that will talk their shit, but you ain't from my hood, homie. If you're going to sit here and try to discredit me, bring somebody from my hood. You ain't going to find him, homie, because I got a lot of love. I got a lot of respect for all the right reasons in my neighborhood. And I'm still in my neighborhood. And I talk the shit that I do because I care about the homies in my neighborhood, homie. So let's just get that one off the top out there, because you're going to have always the haters, the naysayer, but those are the vatos that don't even live in their hood anymore. You can't even see, a lot of guys who talk that shit, you won't even see a picture with them with their homies nowadays. Why? Because their homies don't fuck with them. And that's just what it is, homie. They can talk all this shit they want, but all the vatos that usually talking all that shit, their homies ain't fucking with them, and that'll just tell you what it is, right? When I was 14 years old and I joined the hood, I did not know that I was going to get my teeth knocked in. I did not know that I was going to get shot. I did not know that it was a life that was, I guess, as destructive. I believed I did, but you're 14 fucking years old, homie. At 14 years old, you don't even know pretty much, what a girl's, you've been with one, if you're lucky or unlucky, depending on what side of the aisle you may be looking at it. You haven't really been with a woman. It's like being 14 and saying, "Oh man, I'll rock your world" to a straight lady. She'll look at you like, "Little boy, please, homie, you ain't even tasted none yet," right? So at 14 years old, and that is, I say 14 because 13 and 14 is the typical age of a gang member joining a gang. Yeah, there's gonna be different ages, but we're not talking about that, right? We're talking about just in general. It's usually about 14 years old. At 14 years old, you have no clue what's ahead of you in life. You have no clue what's ahead of you in the gang world. At 40-something years old, there's still many people out there, and I'm not knocking them, I'm just putting it there in comparison, that don't know how to balance a checkbook. At 40-something years old, there's a lot of people out there that don't know what the difference is when you go to buy a car and they say, hey, it's going to be 4.5% APR, or they're going to say, hey, it's 15% APR. All they know is this, how much I'm going to pay a month, and they don't see what the back-end deal and how much more you're going to pay because the interest is much higher. There's many people at 40 years old that have no clue how a mortgage works, how a fixed APR works on a mortgage, how a balloon payment works on a mortgage. There's all these things in life that we have no clue about, but yet you're going to sit here and tell me we know what we signed up for. No, you don't know what you signed up for, homie. You have no clue what the fuck you signed up for. You're going to sit there because you're ignorant, you're uneducated, and you're killing one another. And you're sitting here killing one another and saying you know what you signed up for. If that's the case, when your homie gets his head blown off, don't put no rest in peace. Don't put, hey, the homie's gone. Just put, fuck it, we knew what we signed up for. And when you go to the funeral, make sure to tell his jefa, fuck it, we knew what we signed up for. Because you're full of shit. That's just a tough Mr. Bravo, Mr. I'm chingon, que I don't give a fuck. I know what you didn't know what you signed up for, homie. All you're doing is you're following the footsteps of other guys who've been fighting a war that is an unwinnable war. And it's a war that we started over nonsense, homie. To keep it real. I was there when some of the hoods we got into, beefs with. When I joined my neighborhood was all of 4 or 5 years old at that. And the majority of the guys that were the original guys that started my hood, most of them were not really about that business. They were just, guys playing football, started a gang. And then by the time the next generation came on, then we started ramping that shit up. And we took the ball from them and made it into a gun. And we started shooting, killing one another, homie. And then the majority of guys that I grew up with now, they're not around. A lot of them are dead. A lot of them are in prison. The ones that are out, they're out with their families, homie. You won't see them on the block anymore. You won't see them on the hood. They try to stay. They try to steer as clear away from the block, and not so much that they despise or hate it, because they know what can come with that. They know what destruction will come with that now at a much older age. So when you're sitting here on the comment section talking about, you know what you signed up for, homie, you can't even qualify for a fucking car loan. Yeah, you're going to tell me at 14 years old, you know what you signed up for? You got fools that are going to prison and having to follow somebody else's rules. When you're young, you're joining the gang because you believe, I don't got to follow nobody's rules, homie. I don't give a fuck, homie. I don't got to follow. I'm not going to listen to my mom and dad, but then I'm going to go to jail. Guess what? You're going to pay attention. You're going to listen to somebody, homie. But these are things that you do not know. These are things that most homies will not tell you. Because why? Because most homies don't know it. It's a fucking fact. Most homies don't know what they signed up for. Most homies, like that shooting that happened out here that went viral, and it was all over IG and everywhere else. You saw two different gangs. One's chasing one, F them, this and that. Then the ride comes out, boom, 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 dumps on these vatos. They take off. It looked like nobody got shot, hopefully. And you know what happens there? That's the fun part of gangbanging. You chase these guys, they busted on you, they didn't shoot you. So these vatos are all going back into their hood and they're fucking laughing, fuck them vatos, they're lames, la la la, talking all that shit, talking about we kept it up for the hood. The fools that busted on these guys, they went back to their hood talking about, yeah, we lit them fools up. Everybody's feeling hunky-dory and feeling good. Why? Because nobody got shot. And that's what you think it is. It's a fucking video game. But what happens other times is you go and chase that ride. The vato gets out of the ride, puts a couple in your chest, kills you. Now you got a whole bunch of young guys looking at their homie that just died, and a lot of those young guys, it's gonna be their first murder they've ever been with. They've ever experienced. You're gonna see some of those guys start bailing out. Then you gotta let the parents know, and then you're going through the whole fucking funeral process. And then you're really seeing the grief that's coming to the families. Go tell that mother that's sitting there that's burying her son or daughter, and tell him, oh, they knew what they signed up for. You can have a small idea of what it is, just like how when you have Marines signing up for the Marines, if somebody comes back with their legs blown off, do you really believe that's what they wanted, or that's what they signed? No, they knew in the back of their head, yeah, you know what, this could happen. But we always seem to believe that we're that special person. And let me break some news down to you. When it comes to the streets, you ain't special, homie. You just another casualty, carnal. Streets are undefeated, carnal, and they will continue to be undefeated as long as we continue this cycle of banging, killing one another. And then you're going to be in the county jail. You're going to be right across that vato you just tried to kill, homie. You're going to be right there next to his homie, carnal. And he's going to be telling you, hey, man, your homie snitching on me. Oh, well, your homie snitching on me. That's another thing. If everybody was so much as far as we knew what we fucking signed up for, you wouldn't have all these rappers that you're seeing snitching on each other. And the only reason you're seeing that is because they're high profile with their bigger platforms. But fools are snitching on each other on a regular basis, carnal. On a regular basis. That ain't nothing new. They know what they signed up for. They're still going to snitch on your punk ass. Straight up. They're still going to snitch on your punk ass. You keep saying, look around that group of vatos you're putting in work with. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the fools is going to snitch on you, homie. No, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. One of them bots are going to snitch on you because they're going to say, check this out. Either you're going to get it broken out 40 years or you're going to tell me who did this shit. And most likely, they're going to be like, that vato. They know what they signed up for. They're still going to snitch on your ass. That's just how that shit works, homie. All that shit that you know what you signed up for, nah, homie. It may be easy for somebody to say behind a computer that don't live in his hood anymore, that's taking off somewhere. Yeah, it's easy to sit there and say, you know what you signed up for. I still see these young guys, man. I still see the older homies. I still see my homies in my hood, homie. And I'll be damned if one of my homies gets killed and I'm just going to be like, that's what he signed up for. Nah, homie, fuck that, carnal. All right, man, let's get this shit in, homeboy. I'm going to open up the phone lines. That is my take on it. Somebody else might have something else, and if you do, no problem. Let's get it in, homeboy. Talk to me, I talk back, homeboy. Yeah, they're gonna snitch on you, homie. You know what it is, player. Let's see what you vatos got. Now we can go ahead and there you go. Just studio mode off. You don't sign. Who is this? They're going crazy. They're going crazy. All right, man. Good example. You see? Let me see if I can go back up here and see some of you guys' comments real quick. What's up, Luciano? Joey Knuckles. Hope all is good. Get some coffee. I was tired earlier. I was tired. Let's see what you watchers are talking about. Yeah, because all that you signed up for, I want one of these. The mind of a young man matures at the age of 27. Old. Some only learn the hard way. That's when it's damn too late. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's exactly what it is, man. You know, people believe, you know, I said this before, man. When I was 10 years old, I did not think any way, not even close of how I was thinking when I was 15 years old. When I was 20 years old, I didn't think any way, shape, or form the same way I was thinking about 15 years old. 25, same thing. And as you get older, you're going to start thinking differently. So if you're 15 years old and you're thinking, oh, this is what, nah, homie, you're just a young kid playing a deadly game that was started years before you were ever born, where you were a thought in your parents' mind, and you're just following the same footsteps and the same wars and the same fights that somebody else started over a ruca maybe 40 or 50 years ago, homeboy. Let's see what we got. What's up, Roger? You got something good? If not, I'm going to hang up on you.
Yeah, dude, I do. Listen, bro, I just want to talk to you, and I think I know why the cholo culture is dying, actually, incidentally.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring it to and, you know, every young cholo, every young hip-hopper and all these guys, I've seen something that's really, it's disturbing. A lot of these guys, even when they're making rap videos, they're wearing wife beaters and tank tops, and
all right, Roger's on some other shit. Roger, we ain't talking about that, homie. We're talking about something completely different. You're talking about Chicano rap, Roger. Wrong video, homie. All right, Pimp, what do you think the percentage of people that know that that's what they're signing up for and are ready to accept the consequences versus that are unknown? 1%. 1%. Let me put this out there for you real quick, man. The people that are out there with the straps, put in that work, shooting people, doing all that, is a very, very, very small percentage of the hood. And that I realized after years of doing what I was doing. When I first joined the gang, I believed that every single one of my homies was a killer. I believed that every single one of my homies was the guy with the strap. And it just wasn't like that. Does it mean that they're punk? No, I'm not saying that whatsoever, homie. Some homies are the shooters. Some homies are the guys that get the girls. Some homies are the ones that slang the dope. Some homies are the ones that do the dope. Some homies are the ones that work, come around. And there's a whole different beings when it comes to home. The whole different type. There's a bunch, and the very few are the ones that are out there gangbanging. But even those that believe they know, because I was of them, the very few. I believe this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I believe I'm going to go to prison and I'm going to... No, homie. I now see the same guys that were thinking the way I was thinking, either in prison doing life, dead, or have luckily gotten out of prison after 20-something years. And I can tell you that the homies that have gotten out of prison after doing 20-something years, they know it was for absolutely nothing, homie. They know that they lost 20-something years of their lives, and they're now out here trying to make up for that time that they lost for the hood, because the majority of the homies out here in the hood, they don't know these guys, man. This was 20 fucking years ago. These guys weren't even born, most of them. So there is no, oh, they know. Nobody knows, homie. If they've never gone busted and been doing jail time and all that, and then all of a sudden they're catching a hot one, no, they have no clue. I mean, they have no clue when they're gonna be sitting in a cell all by themselves, looking up at the concrete with a little pencil, with no nothing, with maybe a Bible and nothing. I mean, nothing but chewing your thoughts. They don't know that. They don't know that the dream that we have been selling to the youngsters, as far as, homie, put in that work, do this, do that. Homie, the grand prize is a prison cell for the rest of your life. That's the grand prize. The grand prize is having a CEO tell you when you can use the restroom, when you can get a package, or if you can get a package, when you can get a visit or if you can get a visit, when you can get a haircut, when you go eat chow, when you take a shower. They're gonna sit here and tell you every single thing to do of your life. Yeah, is there stuff you can do by yourself? Yeah, but you get the picture, homie. Nobody's ready for that shit. And that is something that once you get stuck in that cycle, it's too late. If people really want to stay in prison, they wouldn't be appealing. They wouldn't be trying to get. Nah, nobody wants to live in there, homie. It's a horrible existence. Let's keep it real. Nobody wants to live in there. It's like a tomb that you're just sitting here waiting to die. And the crazier part is that you're gonna be there with the same guys you were out here trying to smoke. That's the crazy part, homie. So all the guys that are, we're nah, carnal. Nah, I'm sorry, homie. It ain't a real life, homie. Dead, yeah, dead, paralyzed in jail. It is, homie. That's what it is, carnal. Yeah, let's keep going. Even touching the guys who are. And that's something else, man. That's the. Who's stepping in? All right, let's see what we got in here, man. Gil, they don't even, bro. That's not even touching the guys who are twacked out on drugs. Yeah, that's a whole different fucking thing to it. That, man. Let me see. Put that in there. That looks a little bit better, I think. Respectfully, did you serve? I don't know, Eddie. Let's see. Hello.
Arizona.
What's up, Luciano from Phoenix, Arizona? Talk to us.
Hey, so Chicano Games have been around for a long time now. Why do you think they're still being idolized so much by young people?
I think a lot has to do with just the generational thing. Let's say the hood, the ghettos, when you have young guys who have, let's say, dysfunctional families, not all of them, but a lot of them are, and they have nobody to look up to. So they're not in sports. They're not playing football. They're not playing baseball. They're not getting the attention from their parents or their family as the kids who have, decent families, right? Which you take your kid to sports, you give them that attention. So what they got is they got the street, and the street tells you, if you're out there acting a fool in front of the rucas, if you're out there, putting in work, oh man, you start getting that attention. And as a young person, you want attention, whether it's negative attention or whether it's positive attention. And since you're coming from a broken home, all you're getting is negative attention. You're going to go to the streets and you're going to get that attention. That's when people start writing on the walls. Why? Because, is that you, homie? That's you. That's your placazo. Yeah, that's me. So you start getting that attention. So what happens is, you start believing that, wow, this is the way I get attention. You're getting pushed to do more negativity by getting that attention, and that's how eventually it leads into a pathway of just being a gangbanger. And then what happens also is misery starts loving company. So if my life is screwed up, I'm gonna screw this guy's life up too, and then it just makes a big cycle of going back and forth of the gang cycle, I guess the way to put it.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you for taking my call.
For sure, brother. Appreciate it. Bye bye. It is a vicious cycle, homie. What the fuck is this, man? Got a big old wire up in the way. All right, let's see what you got. Definitely better for our career. I don't know, but career. Join the service, homie. Join the service. See, that's a dope ass back screen. Where's that from, homie? That's a Circus Liquor in North Hollywood, carnal. That's what that is. Player. P-Dog, that is a Circus Liquor from North Hollywood, man. Let's see. Smiley Islos. What's up, Smiley? Being a gangster is a young man's sport. If you're in your 40s and think you're the same person as in your teens, most likely you're an idiot. I don't know, homie. I don't know, carnal, but there is some guys out there still doing their thing, homie, at 40 and 50. I mean, some guys just don't grow up, and that is what it is, homie. But to me, nah, man. To me, listen. To me, a good homie, a good big homie, a good older homie is somebody who's going to try to make your path easier, not have you do the same mistake that you did, man. At least that's my definition. We can all have our own definition. Lefty, what's happening?
What's cracking, Gil?
Oh, another beautiful day. What's happening with you? Talk to me.
That's right. No, I was just tuning in and weighing in, and you're definitely right, and then I think on everything you're speaking on, but like what how do we move forward? You know, what's the solution to it? You know what I mean? Because it's it's definitely gone way further than what the rules were set out to be. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
for
So
sure, for
there's a
sure.
bunch there's a bunch of youngsters out there, you know, that are in this life that want to get out but don't have a way out. You know what I'm saying? They're sitting there and they know that they're playing a character, so to speak. Some of them, you know
That's a
what I'm
great way to
saying?
put it. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, homie.
And,
I have guys that are older than me that have told me the same thing as far as, hey, homie, this is bullshit, but they're still in that life. They're wrapped up because they don't know anything better. And I think the way you kind of slow it down is having these conversations and having, older homies that have been through that express it. Don't sit here and try to, oh yeah, this is gangster. That's nah, homie. Say, you know what? I don't want my kids doing this. So anytime you have a chance to sit there and try to tell a youngster, hey, homie, if you want to walk away from this, it's okay. It's okay. That does not make you a punk because that's typically what it is. It's
yep,
ourselves seeing her
it's
punk.
pride, it's
It's
ego,
yes,
but like you said, they still have those moments, whether they're enslaved to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So even if they're not busted, really mentally they're enslaved. They're busted. They get to the room at night and they have those thoughts as well.
right.
You know, I know it's different when you're locked up, but when you're in the streets, I've seen it. You know, and I do my best to when I see it. Hey, look, X Y Z, go this way with it. You know, there's many options, but it's tough when you're knee deep in it. And I think that's where the root is, like showing these kids and getting to these kids before it's too late. Like, hey, man, you can go this way, you can go that way. And I think that's the challenge. When I think about that shit, it's like, man,
No,
it's tough because
it's definitely a challenge, and it's gonna be tough. We gotta understand that this is 50 years in the making, carnal. This is 50 years in the making,
yeah,
and it started from some small fights, and it escalated. You ask anybody when their hoods really first began, it wasn't like that. It was we got to fight over this ruca. Maybe it was a car club, and then people started fighting, and then it just kept escalating because once you killed somebody, it was like, they killed somebody. And it was like, whoa,
yeah,
everybody kind of takes a pause. And then that's when everybody says, well, what are we going to do? Either we're going to go kill them or we're going to stop. And what happened was, no, we have that ego and pride, and we said, all right, well, we're going to go kill you now. And then that just made a big
yeah,
splash. And after that, it's like the Hatfield and McCoys. I mean, we've been sitting here fighting one another and killing one another. But then you see the older homies, they get along with each other. You're usually going to get along much better if you're an older homie with somebody that used to be your enemy than you are for somebody from out of town because you guys can relate from the city that you're from. And you know that
yeah.
you guys were fighting for all those years, and it was unfortunately it was for nothing, homie. It was to sit there just to see whose huevos are bigger, carnal.
Yep, that's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to us. It's up to us that, and like you know what I'm saying? You're having these conversations, you're putting it out there. And the way I see it is just like those big homies. Like I grew up in the Valle right there too, right? I don't gangbang, but
Right.
all my family was in it. But I knew we were in trouble when I started seeing 12, 13-year-olds walking around strapped.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what? You know, and that's when to me it took a turn because you would never see that shit. It was never, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on out here?
For sure.
Just like the big homies were putting cuetes in their hands, it's time to, hey, the same thing. You got to pay it forward because those big homies, when they get busted and they go through what they go through, they come back different. And
Right.
like you said, they're hey, you know what I'm saying? They don't want nothing to do with it.
Right. Right.
But it's like it's an ongoing cycle where it's like now we got to reach back and like, and I know there's a lot of older homies that are doing that more and more and more, but it really takes us as a collective. That's the only way it's going to get done.
Yeah, it's also the glorification of it. Rap has a lot to do with it. Some of these channels have a lot to do with it. They glorify where they make the streets sound like a fairy tale. They make prison sound like somewhere it's fun and it's cracking. They make it seem like they romanticize it so much, homie. When in reality there is nothing to romanticize, man. It's a tough life, and it's at the end you're gonna lose. There's no beat in the streets, man.
Yeah, keep at it, man. I love the message, and I'm rocking with you, man. You
Hey,
know what
man,
I'm saying?
I appreciate the phone call, my man.
Appreciate you having me up.
That's right, homie.
All right.
Thank you. See, and that's what it is, man. It's like I said, it's taken us 50 years to get where we're at in this thing. and it seemed like it was slowing down a little bit, but now it's back up and running. And at the very least, you can at least school some of these youngsters in a certain way. Like when it comes to when one of your homies gets killed or one of your enemies' homies gets killed, and they put up a memorial and all that stuff. I've always said, and I would tell my younger homies too, hey homie, don't go over there knocking that shit down. Don't go over and disrespecting that, man. That person's dead, man. They got a family that's gonna look at that, And it seems like you got a lot of youngsters now that they believe that's the cool thing, and that's when I say I don't like when the homies be using the N word so much and they're acting different than what they would normally. Because normally, you got to respect that, carnal. But it seems like we're losing our ways, we're losing our morals, and with that goes stuff like that. That you're sitting now disrespecting people's memorials, disrespecting people's funerals. Nah, man, there is a certain line that we should not cross, and that's one of them. And to sit there also after somebody's dead, talk, I mean, you don't go. If you're really about that, then go to their block and go put in that work, carnal. But the reality is, most people just want to sit there and talk shit on the internet, homeboy. All right, let's see what you got. Mm-hmm. Chicago in the building. Mr. Mike Brown, what's happening?
Yo.
Talk to us.
Yo, what's the word, my boy?
Oh, over here getting it in, Mike Brown. What you got to say about it?
Nah, man, I was just watching, man. I was watching your podcast, man, and y'all right, man. The kids do be tweaking and shit. They run around all these straps and shit, but it's really just like the mamas and shit gotta, stop the mamas. But it's really like bro was just saying before, the community gotta come together. It's like we kind of worried about all the wrong shit when it's like we just gotta keep doing what you doing. We keep doing what we doing. You feel me? And like that's what's gonna kind of like get us about that shit. But
right,
it is what it is, really.
Yeah, it is. It takes a community, it takes a family, and a lot of times most of the most gang members come from households that don't have that much structure. Because if they did have that structure, moms would sit there like, you ain't going out all fucking night. You're gonna get a job. You're gonna go to school. But unfortunately, most likely they come from a family that's kind of broken, and it's just a huge cycle of us going through the motions of prison, gangs, drugs, and the only way we can stop it is us as a community need to slow that down.
Yeah, but I was just calling to check in, man. I like your topic, man. I like what you're doing, man. Like,
appreciate it.
Like I say, bro, we coming up out that shit, bro. We coming about this shit, bro. The people, they kind of know we coming up out of it, and if you could kind of understand, they like pressing us even harder. You feel me? Like we fucked up, kind of like just they more on it now, like if anything.
For sure. Hey man, I appreciate the phone call.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm from Chi-Town. That's right. All right, let's see what you got. Who we got? Fanny Lokes. What's up, Fanny Lokes? Salinas is in the building. What's up, my boy? Puro Honduras, South Central in the building. West Side 18. No banging, homie. No banging, carnal. The risk factor, I don't know what you're referring to. I don't know either, homie. I thought it would be nice. So Salinas is definitely in the house. But our tios need soldiers. Yeah, I guess, homie. But, that war is a war that we shouldn't be fighting anymore. I mean, we should be out here, fighting business wars, making money, uplifting our communities. Cause now, everything that gets like glorified, that gets gangster is always, making money, making hustles. Well, you can do it. You can live that lifestyle that you think you want to live as a gangster, as a business person, homie. You can hustle. You can do all that, but you will be coming up. There ain't no 401k in the gang life. You're going to get busted. I don't know how many homies I got doing life, but I can guarantee you many of my homies don't send them money. That's a fact. I mean, people are going to forget about you. If you're a young guy, you're watching this, right? You think, oh, I'm going to get a murder and I'm going to become immortalized in my hood, homie. Let me break this down to you, man. You get busted for a murder, talk about you a week or two, like, hey, so, yeah, that's it, homie. It's not that big of a deal anymore. It's sad, but that's just a fact. It's not that maybe when you're young, you think, oh, yeah, they're going to forget about you, homie. Within 2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, the next day they're partying. You're busted doing life or looking at possible life. The homies are partying, carnal. The party don't stop, homie. That's the thing. Everybody out there may think, oh, I'm so special. I'm so special. Yeah, you're special, homie. You're special to your family. You're special to the ones who love you. To the streets, You just another casualty, Playboy. Uh, Christopher, I guess your point is that that's what you signed up for. It's disrespectful to be said when somebody has died and they were involved in a gang. Yeah, I think, well, it's that, Christopher, and it's you don't know what you signed up for. And any young guy who says that, it's just that, a young guy. Because that young guy is the same guy, like I said, that can't go in there and even, get a car loan, or even probably doesn't even have a bank account yet, doesn't even know how to have a bank account. And it's not, there's nothing wrong with that, but just you have so much more to learn about life, and you're sitting here trying to tell somebody about life and death, and we signed up for that. Charlie Holmes. What's up, Texas?
What's up, Gil? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, carnal. Talk to us.
Hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm tapping in late, man, but I see the caption there. What are you guys chopping it up about today?
Well, I was talking about how you always get, like, when somebody dies or gets killed in gang violence, and you always get somebody in the comments section, the super cholo, whatever it is. That's what they signed up for. They knew what they signed up for, and I'm telling them, I mean, when you're 14, 18 years old, you can't even you don't even know how the car loan works. You don't know how APR works, but you're going to sit here and tell me you know what the gang life you signed up for? When you're in a gang. Obviously, you don't know what direction your life is going to. You don't know you're signing up for that, homie. You know there's something involved with it, and it's kind of disrespectful to sit there and just tell people you know what you signed up for, when in reality, they do not know, in my opinion.
As kids, you mean? As teenagers?
Yeah, as kids, as teenagers, homie. Because most gang members that are out there in the streets are going to be from like 14 years old to 25, nowadays like 30 years old. Most of the ones that are out there in the activities, I guess I'd say, unless you're going out of prison. I'm talking about the streets, right? Most of those guys, no. And if that, like I said, if that was the case, they knew what they signed up for, you wouldn't have all these fools snitching. You got a shitload of people snitching out there. So you can say, well, that's what they signed up for. Then why are they snitching so much? Because in reality, you believe you know what you signed up for until it's time to pay the piper. And when it comes to pay the piper, it might be you're paralyzed. It might be you're dead. It might be you're in prison doing life forever. The price to pay, I don't think most people realize how expensive that price is.
Yeah, no, you okay, I see what you're talking about, and you're definitely correct. My spin on the topic is and something that I mean, I get it where you're at. It's hard, it's difficult maybe to speak on, but since you mentioned right now that that the youngsters that they don't even know what they sign up for, but I think part of the problem is that bigger organization, man, that bigger organization out there in your land.
Yeah, but that's when it comes to prison. We're talking about just street stuff. I mean, when it comes to prison, that's it. You've crossed into that realm, homie. By that point, you're in that realm. That's another thing that I say they don't know what they're signing up for. You're gonna have another man telling you what to do all day.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's not what they're signing up for. But by the time they hit them walls, they gotta sign up for that.
Oh yeah, you got no choice, homie. You got no choice. Welcome to the game.
Well, they do have a choice. You know what I'm saying? They do have a choice, but that's just the decision they make.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of people are making the decision to go somewhere else.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem, man. That's part of the problem because you got to tackle the problem, up from the top.
Yeah.
Up from the top, and that's the problem, man. That then they can't get out.
Yeah. I mean, but I've had many homies come out of prison, and they eventually, a lot of them are, especially the guys who did a lot of time, they come out and they're like, fuck this, dude, I'm not going back to jail. And what do? They get a job, they start taking care of business because they've matured, and now they realize what the price is. Now they're gone. But the young guys, no, they think that they're gonna be young forever, homie. It doesn't work that way.
All right, but then what's it about those men that come out with different mindset? Oh, they're labeled as dropouts. Or they're labeled as, man, they went to the other side. And how does that look? How does that look?
Well, listen, the only problem...
By adults.
The only problem I have, and I do have a problem with that, with the DO thing, right? This is my problem with it. If you want to drop out, as they say, go for it, homie. That's your business, okay? That's your business. If you want to drop out and then change your life and do your thing and take care of your family, all more power to you. But if you're gonna drop out, then you're coming back and making YouTube channels and talking about stuff that you wouldn't talk about. You're double dipping because you said I'm walking away from this life. I am leaving this life for good. That is the point of you dropping out, quote unquote. But if you drop out and then you come back and now you're doing this, no, you haven't dropped out. You're still playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my take on it. I think that's the part that they don't sign up for. I'm talking about the youngsters,
right?
Because they themselves don't know that you're gonna beef it out in the streets, but when you hit them walls, you gotta eat with that man that you were beefing with on the street. How stupid is that?
It's a major.
Like,
it makes no sense, homie.
How retarded is that?
It makes no sense, homie, but that's the streets, homie. That is the craziness of the streets. That's what I'm saying. All of these guys, you know what you signed up for. Okay, you're gonna be there after you kill this guy and he kills one of your homies. You guys are gonna both be eating chow next to each other, carnal.
Yeah, so what's the solution? So what do? Do we blackball gangster rap? Do we blackball?
Well, you're not gonna do that. What it is you, like, this one guy made a comment. Let me read it real quick, right? When I was a youngster, like 16, 17, this is Thrill Native Music. When I was a youngster, like 16 or 17, I had 20-year-old homies smoking and drinking beer with us. Now that I'm 31, wondering what the hell were these older guys doing with their lives. So it's like this. We're as we become older, this generation has become a little bit wiser than the generation before, because now you don't have as many of those 30 and 40-year-old homies kicking it with 14 and 15-year-olds. You still do, don't get me wrong, but not as many, because when I was young, I would see that as well. You see older homies out there kicking it, drinking, and what I didn't know back then was, damn, a lot of these guys live with their mom. They're 40 years old, they live with their half-hour, or they live with their girlfriend. Their girlfriend's the one paying the rent, right? So now it seems like the older homies, not all, are getting a little bit wiser to try to educate these younger ones, just like we're doing on the platform here. So hopefully, eventually, as the years go by, that education will start going down, where now hopefully we'll get to a point where you got 21-year-olds now saying, hey, homie, get a job, take care of business. And so we have to influence one another in a positive way. The thing is, it's not going to happen overnight. This took this long this huge problem of gangs in our community took this long to make. So it's going to take just as long, if not longer, to make it much less than what it is. You're never going to get rid of gangs until you get rid of poverty and you get rid of drugs and alcoholism and which is never going to truly happen. But we can at least make the situation much smaller than what it is.
No, definitely. And another thing that these youngsters out there in LA need to look into or be aware of is that Rico's coming your way, man.
Oh, yes, homie. Yes. Got it. Every 5 years there's hoods.
That Rico's is working itself over to the West Coast, man.
Oh, that Rico's all right to be in here. It comes here every hood that gets all active like that, they'll get swooped up every 5 years, and those guys think, oh, man, those guys made it, but they don't understand that a lot of those guys start snitching, and it's just, listen, man. Save yourself the problem. Save yourself the drama. Save yourself the heartache. First of all, don't even join a hood, homie. And if you are in a hood, don't sit there and feel like you are obligated for life, because you know what? You know what you signed up for. You don't see 40, 50-year-old guys in the hood kicking on the block. I thought they were signed up for life. No, because they realized, man, this is a fucking dead end. But the thing is, it seems like it's so much fun, but you got to pay the piper eventually, homeboy.
Actually, you do have those 40, 50-year-old dudes out there, and they're rapping about that life.
Well, not that many as before.
No, Gil. But look, this is what's up, homie. Look, if we're gonna talk about this topic, then tomorrow you can't be sitting. Well, I'm not gonna tell you what you can and can't do, but if we're talking about this topic today, right? And it's an important topic because it's for the youth. But then tomorrow, we can't be sitting there and be clowning about the situation. And when you got Boo Boo there and he's making jokes about, that's right, homie, join the hood, homie. They're like, you need to check him on that shit, bro.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Boo was saying join the hood. Because, listen, Boo Boo is from a rival hood.
Come on, man.
No, listen.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Boo Boo, okay, Boo Boo.
Boo
Boo is from a rival neighborhood of mine, carnal. I don't know if you knew that. My neighborhood and his neighborhood do not get along. So just Boo Boo and I sitting across from one each other and having the camaraderie that we do is a great thing, because it shows other guys like, wait a minute, these guys our so-called enemies, look how well they get along. Back in the days, me and Boo Boo would never talk, homie. So it's not it. But I'm not gonna sit here and change the person I am. Listen, I'm not a church channel, carnal. I'm not a preacher. I'm an ex-gangbanger that's trying to make younger guys don't do that, and also talk about other stuff that pertains to raza. But I'm not a church channel. I'm not a priest. Yeah, I'm trying to put some solutions out there, but I'm also not gonna change the way I am or tell Boo Boo. No, there's lingo, there's stuff that we mess around and play with all the time. But when it's time to get serious, we get serious.
Right. Okay. But my point is, me as a 40-year-old man, I know that you're playing, and I know when you turn it on and when you turn it off.
Right.
But a 14, 15, 16, 13-year-old doesn't.
Yeah, but most 14, 15-year-olds ain't watching the show, homie. Believe it or not, they're out there either getting it in.
Come on, Gil. Don't cop out, man. If this is what,
okay,
that's what we're talking about.
Okay, what is Boo Boo saying, homie? I don't know. You're banging on Boo Boo right now. What did Boo Boo say exactly that you're pertaining to right now? Because I really don't know.
Yeah, it's just his attitude, man. It's just his attitude when you sit there with some rappers that you know that are still about that life. I'm not gonna mention any names. I'm not gonna put people out there. But you know I'm pretty sure you're smart, man. You know who I'm talking about or what I'm talking about. And it seems like when you have those people across the table from you, like this conversation is light, and this conversation is more of a joking manner. But what I'm saying is, hey, let's be firm on it. I mean,
well, no, listen.
And this don't even affect me because I'm in South Texas.
I get it.
Affects you.
I get it. But listen,
you have sex stories.
Anybody that I've had on this platform that's either like a gangbanger type, still is gangbanging, we still drop that message. We still go against the grain and speak about other things. And I think a lot of them actually like it because we bring that stuff to the table. I don't think any other platform actually has these kind of conversations, even with them on it. They rather talk about the gangster stuff and this and that, but we actually have those different conversations and always put the positive message to the table, homeboy. At least I believe we do.
Yeah, no, what I say is let's focus on the youngsters, man, and not on the grown-ups. And hey, when we gotta hurt feelings, then we gotta hurt feelings. But you know what I'm saying? As a man, we gotta call it for what it is, and we can't beat around the bush. You know, when it's certain people, and then when it's nobody, then go all in. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
I know you know. Hey, homeboy, I appreciate the phone call, Texas. South Texas at that.
All right, Gil.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, Gil.
Late. All right, Boo Boo's going to get you out of homeboy. Terry Hesticos, I like that one. Saying this is what you signed up for is a used car salesman tactic. They sell you a lemon, but because they told you that it had bad tire, but not that that the motor was bad, they say, well, you knew. Yeah, exactly, homie. Nah, nobody knew that shit, homie. I've been in the game somehow, some way for over 30-something years, homie, and I can tell you, chale, homie, these young guys, they don't know what they signed up for. A lot of these guys that are older, they don't know what they signed up for, homie. Oh, shit.
Haters, dog. I love them.
Damn, Boo Boo's beard is calling. Boo Boo, you need a chequeada, carnal.
I can't be agreeing with the fucking rappers no more, homie.
Yeah, you can't say, yeah, what's up? Then the homie from Texas is on you, carnal.
He's on me. I love it.
Hey, Boo Boo, when you were a young kid and you joined your gang, did you know what you were signing up for?
Hell no, bro. Never did I know. When I joined it, you gotta remember, I was like 10 years old when I joined. And it was just what everybody was doing on the block, and it was just like a cool thing, you know. And then, even all the way through junior high, when I started getting the name, it was like, okay, I kind of liked it, because everybody started recognizing me. But then when I got into high school and I started going to juvenile hall, and then going to camp and all that other stuff, it was just like, okay, like this is kind of cool, but it's not because I don't get to go home. I'm living in a room all by myself, and then before you know it, you're just wrapped up. And here I'm 17 years old looking at life in prison, and that wasn't fun at all. I mean, I was in the LA County jail at 17 years old fighting life, and that's when I realized, like, oh, fuck, like, I ain't ever going home now, and that wasn't fun at all. And then when I got out, it was like, okay, cool, like, fuck, I got to slow it down, but I did not know what I was getting into when I was 10 years old, just like all these youngsters don't know.
Yeah.
You just grow into it, and by the time you realize it, you're too deep into it.
Exactly, homie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When people are like, oh, you know what you signed up for, and when a
don't.
homie dies, nah, homie, you don't. You have no clue. Even at life right now, we're 40-something years old, we still have a lot of shit that we have no clue about, because now we're still learning.
Exactly. But yeah, that's it, man. Just you don't know what you're signing into unless you're some people that you get into your neighborhood at 23 years old, which every neighborhood has those guys, you
But
know.
but
And
but even those guys don't know if they're getting in the hood at 23 years old, homie. They really don't know what the fuck they're signing up for. They think it's all fun and games, carnal.
yeah, it is not. It's not, man. Hell no.
You know who might know? Only maybe Cholo Dames, homie. You know how there's Notre Dame, Cholo Dames or SA Dames, homie. If you're 14, 12 years old, you know what you signed up in the hood. You in the wrong game. You should be fucking in Wall Street making millions and billions of dollars, carnal.
Exactly.
All right, Booba's beard is on SSI, homeboy. Later, Boo Boo.
Boo Boo's beard dropped out.
Oh shit!
I went to Sidewalk High, homie.
Boo Boo's beard is walking the main line, carnal.
I can't say that no more, man, because my attitude, you don't like it.
You don't like your attitude. You gotta be.
You don't like my attitude.
You gotta be
man.
positive, Boo Boo. You gotta be positive.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll be positive next time.
All right, full late.
All right, late.
Yeah, look at that. Man, Boo Boo's actually watching live, homeboy. Oh man. Derek Malroy, what's going on, Derek? How's it going? Ulysses. ¿Qué dices, Ulysses? How are you, homeboy? Thanks for that membership, carnal. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got. I heard Booba's beard is the 1%. Booba's beard is the 1%er, homie. He started that shit, carnal. Let's see what you got. No. Is already failed. Yeah, a 40, 50-year-old man still living in his mom's house is already falling behind. Well, a lot of times it's this too, man. When I see older guys, it's misery loves company. Misery loves company, right? It's a fact, homie. You don't want to be the only one in that behind that cop car. You'd rather have when all the homies get raided and everybody's going in there that way. You're all going to juvenile hall. You're all going to the county, whatever. It just feels a little bit better. Doesn't mean I'm going to stitch you to come with me, but I'm just saying, if you're spray painting, it's going to feel much better if you and a couple of the homies get caught. That way you guys are. It just misery loves company. It's the same way on the streets, man. That's why if you got an older guy out there trying to tell you, it's just that he's not too happy in life because anybody who's really been in that gangster stuff, because another thing I've seen is people that remake themselves. All of a sudden, 20 years have gone by, and they're telling the youngsters that, they were with this, they were with that. Like, I remember this fool from 20 years. He wasn't all that. He was just a regular guy. But now, since that older generation isn't there to tell these youngsters who this guy really was, he's going to try to pump some of these youngsters to be the hitters, the killers, or this and that. When in reality, that vato ain't like that, homie. That's just how it is. It's a lot of backstabbing, a lot of scandalous vatos out there in the calles, homeboy. Pónganse trucha, homies. Pónganse trucha. Booba's beard dialing up the numbers. Booba's beard's on Wi-Fi, homie. What's up, Alex? Let's see. Jose Romero, you become a man when you realize your mistakes and make your peace with everyone you did wrong. When you were messing up in the past and move on, yeah, homie, absolutely. When you start taking care of your family, dude, that to me is when you truly become a man. When you start taking care of your family. I was a grown-ass man acting like a child when I was in the streets. I thought the hood was everything, and there was nothing anybody could tell me, homie. Straight up. So once you get to a certain level of the hood thing, yeah, nobody's going to tell you anything. You're going to realize that on your own. But, some people try to tell me, you're too... Nah, homie, that's how you got to be. Ain't no time for sugarcoating, carnal, especially when it comes to gangsterism. Let's see what you got. That's wrong. Booba's beard got a fierro, homeboy. And his left butt cheek, not even the right one. No, don't Derek. No, I'm not talking about that, Derek. Oh, man, that's what I done heard, homie. Booba's beard was in the car with Swifty. Booba's beard took off running, carnal. They didn't catch him, homie. They didn't catch him. That's why he didn't have it. I think it took... Now, Booba can actually grow, I think, the beard pretty quick, homie. But I told him if he cuts the beard, he's out of the show, homie. We can't have him. The beard already told me, carnal. Don't let him cut me, homie. Don't let him cut me. What time is it? 7:30? We'll be taking off here pretty soon. Let me see, man. I think we've had a great conversation. What'd you send me over here? Let's see. What's this about to send me over here? Ooh, okay. That's a major one. All right, grow the beard. Let me get this one out of here real quick. Oh, that homie might be coming through tomorrow. Thursday. Cali Mac. All right, so Booba's beard. I think I think we had a damn good conversation about this stuff, and that's what we need to do. We need to have these conversations, and we need to, put it out there. I really wish one of these young guys would have called and told me that I'm wrong, that he knew what he was, they knew what they were talking about. Because I had some people on IG hit me up, hey Gil, man, I want to talk about this. This was your opportunity to sit there and speak, homie. I do these type of podcasts to educate, homie, to educate not just youngsters, but we got adults that are still doing and messing up the same thing. And when it comes to us as raza, what it is it's a lack of education. I mean, that's all it is. It's not that we're not smart. It's not we're not driven. It's that we are driving ourselves in the wrong direction many of times. We're driving ourselves in the direction of the streets. We're driving ourselves in the direction of prison. We're driving ourselves in the direction of gangs, believing that that's the way to go. And that isn't the way to go. The way to go is take care of your family. Man, I guarantee you, listen, man, to any youngster out there listening, step away for a month, 30 days. I'm going to give yourself a 30-day promise. Say, you know what, homie, I'm going to step away for 30 days. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to try to, not even try, I'm going to do good. Because when you say I try, it doesn't work. I'm going to do good for 30 days, and let's see what the quality of my life brings, homie. I can guarantee you your quality of life will start going up. I can guarantee you just much better things will happen, because when you're out there on the streets, when you're out there acting a fool, nothing but bad things are going to come out of that, homie. That is just the energy you give, the energy you put out in the world. So, in other words, if I'm out there busting on fools, I'm out there cracking fools, I'm out there jumping fools, guess what? It's only a matter of time before that comes back to you, homeboy. That's just the way it is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can sit there and think that you guys are the biggest killers on the block, homie, but there's always somebody bigger than you. Always, homie. And that goes vice versa. So with that, people, I'm out. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Leave a comment.